Hello. I don't know, maybe there's some great, exciting live stream going on or something. I don't know. But, um, all right. I sit there. I mean, like, okay. All right. So, you know, so I don't really have much to say to the people who really don't care about the fucking world. And, you know, think that, everything is just for nothing. Like, it just seems really, really stupid and negative to buy into, oh, well, the Bible said that this is going to be the end times. So, this is the end times. Like, that just seems really crazy to be like, so we're going to sit back and we're going to watch a place where and the crazy part of it is a lot of these people are really religious. I mean, they believe that the Bible, when it's writing about end times, is true, but they don't care about protecting the place where they can actually walk in Jesus's footprints, where it all happened. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, what is it that you don't understand about? I'm not trying. Hi, creative soul. I'm not trying to put down any particular religion or anything, but what is it that you don't quite get? That Muslim is Islam, and Islam. I'm sorry to say this to you people out there that love Islam, or you want to try to pretend that you don't love Islam but you're Muslim. Look it up. They're the same. You're not free in Muslim. Like, there's no freedom there. There's a man who marries a 9-year-old, and hey, that's good. That's cool. Ooh, yay. I mean, is there something that I'm not understanding that these people who claim to be so smart, they're not understanding that, in the Middle East, I hear people say, the Middle East, the Middle East, the Middle East, yeah, Israel's just as bad. Actually, they're not. Um, Israel doesn't want your fucking war. I mean, you're not your. Yeah, Israel doesn't want war. They just want to fucking be able to exist. What is it about the Jews that scares people so much? What is it? Can anybody just tell me? There's no oil there in Israel. Tell me what it is. E-beggars, I see you running around still acting like you're smart. Come on, can you tell me what the problem is with Israel? There's no oil there. There's no, minerals in the earth. There's nothing there other than religious artifacts that are just tell me. Come on. Tell me, stop pretending to be so fucking smart if you can't tell me what the problem is that Israel for them to stay there. I just don't understand. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. It's sad. It's really sad because, um, no, they haven't, Connie. You're absolutely right. They have never been the aggressors in history ever. And I will hear repeatedly from people, yeah, and then they want to say they're the ones committing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. And so here, I'm going to read something. I'm going to read this. Since its founding in 1979, the Islamic Republic has acted as a destabilizing force in the Middle East, instigating and inflaming conflict in an attempt to assert itself as the region's dominant power and export its authoritarian system of government. Islamic, which is Muslim, okay? In the past year alone, Iran has launched an attack from its territory against civilian oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, who is backing Iran, who is backing Iran, and used its ballistic missiles against an Iraqi base, also backing Iran, hosting U.S. and coalition forces on the front lines of the fight against ISIS. Now, both those countries are now backing Iran. At sea, Iran continues to pose a major threat to freedom of navigation and maritime security. Since 2019, the Iranian regime has mined 6 commercial vessels. Absolutely. It's disgusting. But nobody wants to say this. Nobody wants to say that none of them uh, shot down a U.S. unmanned aerial vehicle flying in international airspace. Well, I'm sorry, I don't believe there should be any unmanned aerial vehicles flying around in international airspace. And unjustifiably detained a British tanker and her crew for more than 2 months. Where are you, Britain? In addition to these actions, oh, that's right, you're having riots in the streets against those same Muslim Islams, right? Just because they're from, come on now, In addition to these actions, the regime has continued its long-standing practice of funneling weapons, personnel, and finances to partners and proxies throughout the region. Now, both these countries are supporting Iran right here, needlessly prolonging and exasperating conflicts from Syria to Yemen. Yeah, That's why it sickens me, Connie, when I hear them go, Israel is just the same as them. No, they aren't. No, they are not. So Syria and Yemen are both also supporting Iran. On September 14th, 2019, Iran launched from its own soil a combination of at least 25 land attack cruise missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles, striking Saudi Arabian oil processing facilities. The attack temporarily shut down approximately half of Saudi Arabia's oil production capacity. Although the Houthis initially claimed responsibility for the strike. Now, why would any group claim responsibility like that? That just doesn't even make sense. A panel of United Nations experts rejected the Houthi claim. That doesn't even make sense. Careful analysis clearly revealed that the attack originated in Iran. The impact points on the Saudi facilities show that the attack originated from the northwest, not the south, as would be expected from an attack originating in Yemen. In the meantime, Yemen and the US and Saudi Arabia have been staging a war on Yemen for how many years now? But suddenly, Yemen is attacking Israel? Say what? The distance of the targets exceeds the estimated range of weapons in the Houthi arsenal. The size and complexity of the attack required an operational capability that the Houthis have never demonstrated before or since. Ah, till what, a day ago? Or the last 24 hours? Huh, interesting. Finally, there is no history of the Iranian produced UAVs used in the attack ever being deployed or possessed by the Houthis. The overwhelming evidence against Houthi involvement has resulted. So I'm like really, I'm confused here. So these other countries are supposed to tell other countries what weapons they have acquired and um, give them, like, a line item detail of what they have in their arsenal. I mean, shut the fuck up over there. Uh, it's. I'm inclined to believe that Trump probably said, "Well, you do it. You attack them, and we'll back you." But he's not, because he took that plane from Qatar. He knew. He fucking knew. He knew. Finally, okay, the overwhelming evidence against the Houthi involvement has resulted in widespread condemnation of Iran for the attack. Days after the attack, Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Defense stated that the weapons used in the attack were of Iranian origin. And on September 24th, well, yeah, but they've still been attacking Yemen ever since. So, and how they treat women, I know, and women are even fucking supporting them. Isn't that gross? The United Kingdom, France, and Germany issued a joint statement condemning the attack and attributing it to Iran. And yet, Saudi Arabia wasn't fighting Iran. They still attacked Yemen. Isn't that something? They still attacked Yemen. On January 7th, 2020, Iran again used its missile force to launch more than a dozen ballistic missiles at U.S. and coalition forces stationed at the Al Assad base in Iraq. Although the strike did not result in any deaths, more than 100 U.S. servicemen suffered traumatic brain injuries due to the attack. Wow. They may as well be dead. Moreover, multiple Department of Defense personnel have provided their assessment that the lack of casualties was due to the base's early warning system and good fortune rather than Iranian intentions. In contrast to the attack on Saudi Arabia, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Aerospace Force Commander, why do they even have that? How is it possible that terrorists, they're not a religion. I'm sorry to tell you, they're terrorists. They hate everyone. They're not a religion. I don't give a fuck what some Muslim or Islamic person says. They are not. They hate everyone. They fucking hate everyone. There's not one good, peaceful fucking thing about them. Show me. Show me. If you're gonna tell me Muslim is different than Islam, fucking no, it ain't. Look it up. Look it up. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But see, you got people like Munchie and Lou and Tiffany and King of Chaos and Crystal Love and stupid people who want to act like I am the biggest thing. That's I'm the biggest poison in the world. Annette is the biggest poison. Oh, my dead mother, poison to the world. That's what they want to act like because they don't want to speak about the real fucking issues in the world. Nope. And plus, we've got to hold down a person who does care about the world. We got to do that. We got to do that. If she wanted to make a difference, we're gonna need to, I saw your community post, Lou. There is no stage 11 cancer, but how is that not cancer bullying? Why are you talking about cancer and calling it stage 11 cancer? How is that not cancer bullying? But in the meantime, Lou, you obviously don't give a fuck about your country. And fucking and you, King of Chaos, remind me never to have you on the inside of a secret planning thing because you'll be posting it all over your fucking thing, where we're located and this, that, and the other thing. Here we've got, fucking Trump saying, I don't think that Israel should attack Khomeini. Khomeini, go hide. People in Tehran, go hide. In the meantime, you do know that anybody who wants to go visit the Holy Land is not really that fucking holy. You motherfuckers are not holy in the least. You don't give a fuck about the archaeological things, the antiquities, the footsteps, everything. You don't give a fuck about the Bible. Because all you want to fucking say is, well, this was prophesied in the Bible. It's the end times. It's the end times. Oh, well, hello, no BS. Only when you sit there and let it be the end times. Here's Israel trying to fucking fight on its own against a group that this is from 2017, 2021, the government website, this whole research that I did, okay? From the government website. All right. On January 7th, 2020, Iran again used its missile force to launch more than a dozen ballistic missiles at U.S. Okay. 100 servicemen have suffered traumatic brain injuries. Um, in contrast to the Islamic Guard, Ali Hajizada immediately claimed credit for the attack, boasting of the strike's success and not and now noting that Iran could easily have caused 4,000 or 5,000 deaths. Wow. People saying that Israel is in the wrong for fighting against these people. You should be so fucking proud of yourselves. You should be so proud of yourselves supporting those terrorists. You really should. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in Iran is a terrorist. I'm saying don't let these motherfuckers fool you. If you're Muslim, you're Islam. It's a fact. I've researched it. I've looked. I've studied. There's no other answer. Those are all the answers. Look it up yourself. Fucking Google it 2,700 times, and it's going to come back to that answer. Okay? Well, they hate. Then they must love Israel for fighting for them now. You know what I'm saying? They must hate the U.S. and all those other countries for not fighting for them and leaving them high and fucking dry. Because that's a fact. You know, and I remember back in '79, when I was fucking 11 and the Shah of Iran was here, and um, Iran wanted him back, and the U.S. wouldn't send him back. Um, Even then, though, wasn't him and his wife pretty much living high on the hog? It wasn't like, the whole country still wasn't going through, because the religion of Muslim is basically not very friendly to women. It's not like, hey, you're a Muslim woman, go out there and succeed. No, it's more or less cover up your hair because, we as Muslim men can't control ourselves, and we don't want your hair to cause us to have to, you know, RAPE you. We don't want to be, you know, tempted like animals. You better cover up that hair, and you better cover up yourself in layers and layers of some, fucking burlap. Get out there in the heat. And oh, by the way, in case you get too sweaty and stanky, I got my other, four wives that I might be able to find one of them that's not so stanky. And in the meantime, they're accusing Israel of genocide. Genocide? Why, certainly, because we're marching you into gas chambers, eh? Ah, certainly, certainly. How dare? How do they even realize how hard it is? For, the bottom line is who they're doing that in all of those basically. But the basic thing is Israel is still that motherfucker, though. Israel is still that motherfucker. And you know what? And the people should be pissed. But yeah, but here's the thing, the people don't like it, but then they come here and they still do it. And they still do it. And they're screaming in the face of, and they're tearing down our, and burning it. And but they don't like it, you know? Like, it's like, they don't like it. So then you're in a country where you're free. Like, nobody's going to allow a woman to be stoned to death in the town square or set on fire. So if you don't like it, then fucking step up and speak out for the atrocities that, is going on in the Islamic religion. Who aren't armed like we are? Well, yeah, but they don't even need to be armed. Nobody's threatening them. Like, they're all screaming free Palestine. Why weren't they? Obviously, they're here, so like they came. You are free. You want to fight and scream free Palestine? Then, you know, uh, gather together and fight against terrorism. But they still keep wanting to claim that Israel supports ISIS. It's fucking insane. Oh, no, not the Iranian people. I'm talking about the Palestinians. I went back and forth. I'm sorry, I did. But I believe that the women are probably treated the same, aren't they? In Iran? I mean, from what I see, only in Israel are women treated in any kind of, and probably Egypt too. Like, I mean, but they don't want nothing to do with the Palestinians or anything. Like, you know, well, what's Sharia law? Can you define that for me, please? 'Cause so it goes through the IRGC. Iran has provided advisors, training, technology, and weapons to a variety of armed groups across the region, all of whom continue to use those capabilities to attack and threaten people across the region. Iranian lethal aid to these groups includes small arms, ammunition, explosives, improvised devices. Well, now oh, they all are. Oh, are they? Run by Sharia law, except for Israel is just. I heard fucking Elon Musk is providing them with some kind of internet cover. I mean, like, what the fuck, man? In Iraq, Iran has maintained decades long relationships with a variety of Shia military groups, many of whom have deployed Iranian weapons against U.S. personnel. How did this get so far? Seriously, how did this get so far? How did this get so far? Since the fall of 2019, U.S. and coalition forces. Who are those coalition forces? I'd like to hear what coalitions they are. Have stationed in Iraq to fight ISIS. But now, oh, okay, that's terrible, isn't it? How terrible is that? So basically, Israel is trying to free Palestine. Israel is trying to free these countries from being oppressed. It's the world that is sitting idly by. They have come under multiple rocket attacks, two of which have resulted in American fatalities. Iran's closest and most capable partner armed group in Iraq, Kataib Hezbollah, executed a rocket attack with a barrage of over 30 rockets at an Iraqi military facility. Now, yeah, because they got oil. Same with Saudi Arabia, though. Now they're backing them too. All of those countries are. Hello, Mr. Aaron. I appreciate people stopping in because I know that this isn't my usual topics, but it's what I would have preferred to be my usual topics because I do care about the world. I really do. Um, I just don't, Saudi. I thought, didn't Qatar, is Qatar and Saudi? I really thought I had just recently seen something. I mean, I thought they said China was. I mean, all these countries are like, even Rand Paul, who normally normally I've been really supportive of him supporting, poor Yemen for starving. And here now they're saying Yemen fucking attacked Israel. I don't even know what to believe anymore, but I do know that once Israel is gone, there'll be nobody visiting the holy city. And if Trump gets his way, he'll pave right over the shit anyway and build a casino. But you know what? Those are just groups. It's not the whole country. I don't understand. Like, didn't these countries have their own military? How the fuck did these terrorist groups end up in fucking control? How the fuck? How the fuck did these countries not have their own military to fight against terrorist groups? How the fuck? This doesn't even fucking make sense to me. But see, from what I've seen, since, all these terrorists, Islam has taken over all of these, places, they are teaching that everybody is a fucking enemy anyway. So now even their young men are in the mindset of, well, because why? Because the world sat idly by, being like, oh, hell no. We're not gonna get involved in that shit. We don't care about those women over there, or LGBTQ, or anything. We don't give a shit. Or are they just dropping bombs and being like, we've got bigger bombs than you? I mean, because there's civilians there too. only those civilians get pointed out if Israel has done something. If Israel has done something, you know, it's, look at Israel. Those fucking Jews again. Look at them. Just look at those fucking Jews again. Just want a place to lay their fucking heads down and not worry, the reason why the entire definition of faith is there is that, Abraham had faith when God said, no, I'm gonna trust me, go here, this is yours, but trust me, you know and yeah, that's having faith. Like, you believe somebody, you trust them, you have faith in them. And in the meantime, though, like, now the Houthis can fight back, or attack Israel. It just doesn't even make sense to me. In the meantime, Trump's waiting 2 weeks. What are you waiting for, buddy? To see who's coming out on top? Um, they have come under multiple rocket attacks, two of which have revealed Iran's closest Hezbollah executed a rocket attack with a barrage of over 30 rockets at an Iraqi military facility in Kirkuk on December 27th, resulting in the death of an American contractor. Iranian backed SMGs struck again on March 11th, launching a rocket barrage against Camp Taji, killing one British and two U.S. service members, as well as wounding 11 others. Okay, so when these terrorist groups did that to soldiers that you stationed there, you didn't go in and fight? I don't understand. I don't even understand that in the least. In Lebanon, Iran provides Lebanese Hezbollah 700 million every year. Hold up. They fucking know this? Syria, Iran has extended at least 4.6 billion in credit to the Assad regime. Fucking what? Palestinian territories. Iran historically provides over 100 million a year to Palestinian groups, including Hamas and Palestine Islamic Jihad. Say what? Fucking what? So in the meantime, Israel isn't involved in any of that shit. But assholes want to be just sitting back and watching the holy city get destroyed and be like, but the Bible prophecy. It's the Bible. I ran it. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Israel is causing this. What? What? So the world just sits back while these fuckers get richer and expand. Since 2012, Iran has spent over 16 billion. What? What? Propping up the Assad regime and supporting its other partners and proxies in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. And we just sat back and watched it. Ugh, ooh, ugh. And now the one, yeah, but we've got this guy here who's fucking taking planes from Qatar and saying, I'm gonna wait 2 weeks. I know I'll wait 2 weeks. Whoever's winning is who we'll support. Ugh. Get this. Iran's regime punished Palestinians by providing them just 20,000, yes, 20,000 from 2008 to 2017. Yep, Palestinians, but I mean, like, are these people like so brainwashed that they're like, but we're Muslim, and since I'm sorry, the terrorists are Muslim too, we're down with them? What is the main religion in Russia and China? And there's Jewish people over here that are against Israel. Here's a thought. Uh, if we're gonna be pissed that people are coming over from Mexico, and we're gonna assume that they're all illegals and they're all cartel, even though that group M13 or whatever that was actually started in the U.S. That was started in the U.S. in L.A. Um, I feel like there is a lot of innocents that are probably trying to run away from what's going on there. It seems easier for drugs and illegal, firearms, um, from America. And Americans moving their factories over there for cheap labor, which they've been doing for how long? Um, than to conserve a life, you know? So then they get here and the M13 and all these, motherfuckers are running around. And I'm not just saying M13, I'm talking like even the Aryans and stuff, and even, like any pieces of shit who want to, sex traffic women and be like, oh, I'm gonna pull up on you and open fire on you. I mean, we got a guy who fucking it brags about acting up so he doesn't get to go on furlough or disembark from the ship and do whatever, yeah, unless it's okay, a country where it's okay to you know have sex with minors and do whatever you want with them, as long as you bring them back breathing. Um, but in the countries that don't allow that, he doesn't want to disembark because it's more profitable for him to literally stick his hands in the pockets of his sleeping bunkmates and steal their money and then make them borrow their own money with interest. And yet, not one of those stupid twat bitches, Munchie, or any of those twat bitches who sit there saying, we're going to call welfare, or we're going to call and report, this vampire guy, even though, this bitch was using, her kid's phone. So, as being a contact in the phone is probably because you had him as a contact in the phone. In my opinion, you're just trying to get some kind of attention right now. Um, and your buddies with Munchie, who was harassing the fuck out of that guy when you wanted to be with him, But now, since he's talking about other women, who knows if you're even telling the fucking truth? You know what I mean? Um, totally, like, really just don't even fight for the real thing, like the real issues in life. Like, they want to report me. They want to report Annette. They want to report this one. They want to report that. They want to report. Hey, Lou, how many times are you going to lie and say that Annette killed a cat? She didn't kill a fucking cat, you fucking cunt. Um, but they didn't report Nitty for robbing his own fucking shipmates. Or for, that whole 12-minute diaper change mouth down there, and that's how we do it here, baby. What else? Yeah, it is sweet tender. Sweet tender. Who's never heard of the fucking Buck Muncher monster? Now SG wants to fucking accuse him of being a fucking pedo. A fucking way you talk about my mother like she is a whore or something. A bunch of dirt bag motherfuckers who really don't give a fuck about anything. Uh, yeah, Crystal, you call yourself Brown Patriot. Why don't you go suck a fucking dick, you fucking loser? Honest to God. Motherfuckers want to sit there and be like, with fucking lie after lie after lie after lie and think they're upstanding people. No. Crystal Methodist. Yeah, you're not upstanding in the fucking least, man. Not in the least, Crystal. Or Lou, or whatever. I think it's unfortunate that your father even was able to produce children. I really do. I do. I really do. There's no stage 11 cancer. So you mocking cancer like that, even though you have not responded to, wait a minute, you said you had cancer. You don't bother responding because you know that you lied. It is a strong delusion of, like, where wrong is right and right is wrong. And King of Chaos, you bother leaving comments on shit like that. while acting like you think you're smart. But unless you're gonna, come out with like something that's a real, you know, smart fucking thing, like it's just like I just can't even. It's insane, man. In Lebanon, Iranian support has been foundational to Hezbollah since its emergence in the 1980s. Okay, I'm not understanding this. So all of that was for nothing. Remember when the Americans were taken hostage in Iran? I'm not comprehending this. How have they grown? Do you know? I actually, I read that oh my god, what's his name? The one from Cuba. What was his name? He's deceased now. Castro. Yes, Fidel Castro. That he actually took over, that with only like 15 people behind him. But he just, he lied. He went along with the lies, like that. Um, I myself, I wasn't, uh, I kind of feel like, what's up with fucking America? Why didn't they go in and fight when here's these fucking, and I'm not talking about Cuba. I'm talking about because thank God for Khrushchev, because um you know I just I can't imagine that you know these terrorist groups just grew. They start small and then people just sit there and let them keep growing to where now they're like giving this much billion to this and this and this and this. How much did they Qatar? What is that? Qatar, where is that? Where is Qatar? How big of a country is that? I mean, what could that fit into one state of fucking of I mean, how big of a country is that? Why is our what? What kind of religion are they in Qatar? I mean, what has their relationship been with America? And who the fuck is running Cuba now? I mean, who after cash? I mean, I just I just want to know why the fuck was Trump over in the Middle East, like you know, doing a sword dance and shit. And why the fuck is Elon Musk providing? Oh, and I'm not sure where the uranium is and blah blah blah, this and that. I don't understand why are people turning their backs on Israel? Why don't you they care about Jesus and the Holy Land? Why are you guys turning your backs on Israel? Why do you think that it should be destroyed? Tell me. Not you guys. I just want to hear from some of these smarties that think that they're, you know, you guys are smart. I'm talking about the people who sit there silent because they know they don't have a good fucking answer. Yeah, but he's waiting 2 weeks. If he backed Israel, U.S. should have backed being anti-terrorism fucking years ago. From what I'm reading here, all those countries should have been against all this shit of it growing and growing and growing. And the bottom line is Muslim. is fucking Islam. If you want to be free to practice your religion and your rights and everything, don't be Muslim. Thank you, Mr. Aaron. I just don't understand how for years now Yemen has been being, fucking bombed and starved to death. And now they're entering into a war against Israel. Now the Iron Dome has fucking failed, but that fucking Elon said, I'm telling you, and all these people who want to sit there and say that they are religious know that Israel has never been an aggressor. They've never been an aggressor. Look at when, during those Olympics, remember the Olympics when all those Israel athletes got killed in the US, like they negotiated for, the US. Um, Now, how big is that? That's obviously smaller than. I mean, like, but a lot of these fucking countries are smaller than. So, how big could these terrorist groups have been in them until we let them expand? Like, somebody was like, oh, so the country doesn't have the money to buy, you know, rockets or missiles and equipment and stuff from us, but the group does. Oh, the group does. Well, okay. Well, that's okay. We don't care what they're going to do with it. We'll get it. I believe it was France, wasn't it France that was selling Iraq nuclear weapons, and it was Israel who went in there and pulled a fucking like what, Hail Mary or something, and was able to bomb them. Just the nuclear stuff. In the meantime, Israel isn't hiding in their military underneath the hospital, but Iran is bombing their hospital. But that's okay because uh, you know how evil Israel is. And here's another thing that people don't seem to. They weren't kicked out of Israel. The Palestinians, they weren't kicked out of Israel. They they left because they didn't want to fight for the country. They didn't care if Britain was in control of it and stuff like that. They you know but Israel, the Jews, I'm sorry, the Jews wanted a fucking place that they've been fighting for since the beginning of time. They wanted to put their fucking heads down. They wanted to be able to be Jewish publicly without, being killed. The Palestinians that were there were more than welcome to stay as long as they were going to fight to keep that land. But they wanted to leave. They wanted to go and let Israel fight the Jews. I'm sorry. let the Jews fight against, to keep, to make Israel a independent state, and then come back and move right back into their little homestead. That's what they wanted. They didn't want to, because any way you looked at it, it was going to turn, in their mind. In their mind, it was going to turn out, for the best for them, because people who are Israelis, Jewish, they're kind, right? They'll probably give us back our land that we just ran away from. Oh, look, it's still standing because they defended it so well. Yeah, we'll just move right back in. Wait a second, what? So you didn't want to fight alongside for this land? No, no, we didn't. Now, what are you trying to say? We don't get to stay here when you sacrifice things? Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. But they could stay. They did still stay. There's still, what did they say? Like 2 million Muslims, Palestinians, Muslims in Israel. They still can stay. They still live side by side. It's the idiots that are growing up in Palestine where, Hamas taught everyone, hey, hate Israel. Why is Trump waiting 2 weeks? Can anybody tell me why Trump is waiting 2 weeks? I wonder what kind of a casino he's going to build in Israel. I wonder if it's going to look like, all the religious sites and stuff. If he's just going to call them like the religious sites. And all those people who want to sit there and pretend to be so fucking religious. Just sitting back. It's not our war. Yeah, well, Rand Paul, I'll fucking remember that. I won't ever recollect the story of how bad I felt for the people of Yemen when you were pleading, that they were starving, and how many innocent people were going to be starving because of a US backed war towards, Saudi Arabia, that Saudi Arabia was bombing Yemen. But now you want to fucking say it's not our war. It sure as shit is if you believe in the Bible. Oh, but if you believe in the Bible, then you believe these are the end times, and you're willing to sacrifice Israel. Oh my God, a sacrifice? Is Israel Is a Jew being sacrificed? Get the fuck out. I'm in shock right now. A Jew is being sacrificed? Yeah, because, that always makes God happy. God is like, oh, nobody kill unless it's a Jew. Oh, by the way, make a cross and nail him to it, and then make some necklaces and wear them so that people can look at that nice dead Jew hanging from your neck. Everybody look at the dead Jew. He saved us all, the dead Jew. Is that the thought process now too? What are you fooling yourselves? Does God love the Jews? Is God Jewish? Are they the chosen people, or does those Islamic terrorist groups contribute way too much money to care about Israel. Who gives a fuck, right? What's going on in Lebanon now? Anybody know? Isn't it even still in existence? Oh, I do know that in Africa they're like killing all kinds of Christians, but who gives a fuck about them either, right? Black Lives Matter.
14th of this month down, 14th, 13th down is a kind of massacre. The state government says 59 persons were killed in Benue State in a village called Yenawata. That is in Benue State. And Benue is a Christian-dominated state. We are about 6 to 7 million Nigerians living in Benue, and over 97% of them are Christians. They are Baptists, they are Methodists, they are.
All right, so who is killing the Christians? That 3%? No. No, I'm sorry. So you're saying 97% of that small village are Christian. 3% start killing people, and the other 97% just sat there? Yeah. Can anybody tell me, can anybody explain that math to me? Because I'm not explaining that. I mean, I'm not understanding that. I don't understand that.
And then we have local churches called MKST, Hooking, and EPWA. But about a week ago, on Saturday, Fulani extremists, terrorists, stormed into Yelawata and then slaughtered a whole lot of people. Not just slaughtering, not just macheting. They locked some people up the way the Hamas locked Israelis up 2 years or 1 year ago, and then doused the houses with gasoline and then set them ablaze.
Oh, so Hamas killed innocent people, doused their houses with gasoline, and burned them to death. But in the meantime, you've sat there and been like, yeah, but Hamas is cool because, they did it to Israel. We didn't want to show any kind of start, and they took over Palestine and wherever else. And, now they're, only 3% of our 97%, but we're still going to sit here and, I'm going to sit here with my dick in my hand as a world leader and say, what?
Babies were burnt. And then some of them that were about running were gunned down. And some also were cut from behind with machete. The government says.
Shut the fuck up. How long have they been fucking cutting your people up with machetes?
Persons were killed. But the people on ground said over 100 were killed. Amnesty International, so we list that. And the Pope.
Amnesty International, that's the leader of their country talking right there, I believe. But in the meantime, over here in America, Black Lives Matter, but not to the people who are chanting Black Lives Matter who claim to be from Africa. I'm not understanding. So George Floyd's life mattered more than those people killed with machetes for like years and years. I mean, that's been going on for fucking years. That's not new. They're acting like that shit's new. So the amount of damage that was done in our streets. But see, they have a conflict with Iran because Israel isn't attacking Lebanon, but they're getting their money from Iran and have terroristic groups. But I'm not understanding how Black Lives Matter was going to uh, what do you mean a devastating war with Israel? When did Lebanon have a war with Israel? Oh, okay. So when did they have a war with Lebanon? I'm just curious because it says here that it was like Iran that had been attacking most of the other countries all over. In Lebanon, Iranian support has been foundational to Hezbollah since its emergence in the 1980s as the first organization to employ the widespread and regular use of suicide bombers. Huh? Yeah, I thought suicide bombers were like those pilots and the Japanese pilots and stuff, weren't they? In addition to providing as much as 700 million in funds annually, Iran has been one of the primary suppliers of Hezbollah's military technology, enabling the group's transformation into a quasi-conventional force. This support violates UNSCR 1701, adopted in 2006, which obligates all UN member states to prevent the sale or supply to any individual or entity in Lebanon of arms and related material, except those authorized by the government of Lebanon or the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. As a part of this larger picture, Iran has continued to support Hezbollah's development of missile production facilities, as well as groups' ongoing efforts to convert its 130,000 plus rocket stockpile into precision guided missiles. Hezbollah poses a growing threat to both Lebanese and regional stability, as demonstrated in September 2019, when the group used a number of anti tank guided missiles to target an Israeli army base and military vehicles located inside Israeli territory. So basically, Trump is dragging his feet about Iran. So there was no war with Israel, between Lebanon and Israel. It's Hezbollah and Iran. Why does Trump not wanna get rid of these people? I don't understand that.
for teams of this month down 14th, 13th. Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Israel, our brother. Israel is not your brother. God is your brother.
Blaming Israel. Look at him. Blaming fucking Israel. Christians are being slaughtered. He doesn't say who slaughtered them. He said terrorist group. But he's blaming Israel. I'm wondering if any of these religious zealots ever felt or ever thought to themselves that the end of the world only comes about because of because Israel becomes destroyed. Have they ever thought that to rise up and fight might not mean the end of the world, or does everybody just not care about the world enough and their life in the future? It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Watching someone take fucking, I didn't watch them, but I imagined that God saw all these fucking molecules and atoms, and they're just all fucking like just everywhere in disarray, and blew life into them, and each one, the DNA that was the same, they came together, and the electrical energy brought each DNA to where it's supposed to be. Also, we would just sit back and watch terrorists win. You know there's no winner in a nuclear war, right? You know that everybody ends up dead. To to accept something like this is the end of the world, it is the prophecy. Weren't fucking psychics and fortune tellers and stuff, weren't they not supposed to be okay in the Bible? I don't understand. Only that one though. At what point was human sacrifice? Okay. That was a two. That's it. I'm sorry. Um, I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't have all the same beliefs as everybody, but I do research. Um, I do research, and I'm not like um, some people that are online. Uh, yeah, I think it's gross that like even I've been watching Orange Is the New Black. I know it's kind of older, but I totally see what you meant by Pennsylvania or whatever there. Um, I do. But I mean, call me old fashioned if you'd like, but how many fucking times am I supposed to turn down the TV so fucking people don't think I'm watching porn? I mean, like, it's like, there was a time when, you know, naked and fucking wasn't right on TV. It was, hidden in the back room at the video stores. And I'm not saying that's the only one that does it. There's some that it's just too much. I can't even watch it. Like 6 Feet Under. I just can't. I just can't with that show. It's like fucking 5 minutes, if even 5 minutes of like dialogue, and then the next thing it's fucking, fucking, fucking. That just fucking like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? It's a character that's in Orange is the New Black. I thought it was a place myself. I would be like, yeah, just like that. I thought it was like a place. And then I watched finally Orange is the New Black, and fucking it's a character on the show, Pennsatucky, who at this point now I'm kind of feeling bad for because she ends up getting RA'd by that fucking corrections officer there. She is a good actress, and then and that Crazy Eyes person. Oh my god, they're a great actress. That's a true story, but not as much because she said she didn't come up with as much violence as yeah, Janelle. It's like, that lady who plays Red in that is the one from Star Trek, like the new generation or whatever. Not, the good ones with Dr. Spock and Captain Kirk. Kate Mulgrew or something like that. Yeah, the redhead lady. Yeah. I was glad when that lady, the Bob lady, the one with the cancer, when she fucking ran over that lady, Vivi, or whatever. I was fucking glad she did that. It was just getting too much for me. All the hatred she was causing. Oh, is that her name on there? I was. It's kind of cool, that she didn't like go into the whole, you know, plastic surgery and shit like that. But I couldn't like. Does that girl Nikki ever come back? I like her too, with the puffy hair. Is that the bald guy? What was his name again? I forgot his name. He played Gandhi. No, he didn't play Gandhi. I think he was in fucking. Could have played Gandhi. He was in like Scrooge or something. That Crazy Eyes, though, actress. She's a good actress, big time, huh? Patrick Stewart. Yeah, that's what it is. Seems like that, right? Crazy Eyes. Yeah, rocked it, man. Really big time. It's weird how that other, like, the one who got Daya, whatever her name is, pregnant, how he left the show. He just left. Like, he just never came back. That's so fucking weird, isn't it? Like, they had no storyline to it or nothing. Guy just fucking left. I am pretty, like, into it, though, the show. But why would he just leave? What the fuck happened to that actor? What? So weird. But it's so fucked up how easy it was for them to be, um, uh, what's Wentworth TV show? What is that? Oh, Australian. Sometimes I can't stand the way Australians talk. Yeah, but it gets on my nerves that it's like, fucking, oh, why wouldn't they go back for three hots and a cot? I mean, it seems like, they get out. And then that whole compassionate release with that older lady, where when she got dementia, they ended up just bringing her to the bus station. That's so, that's so fucked up. Is that a real thing? That they just bring them to the fucking bus station like an old person with dementia? That is so fucked up. So I don't think, like, did they take the Pledge of Allegiance out of school? I think that was really wrong to do. Just in my opinion, it was. And that stupid statue that they have now in the middle of Times Square. And I'm not trying to be any kind of way, but like, so they took down Teddy Roosevelt's statue and they put that up. Somebody who's like not a person of fame, of substantial, like, did nothing for the country, just an angry black woman. That's the statue. That's who gets statues nowadays. Like Teddy Roosevelt, did they really take down his statue? Unreal. They didn't take it out of the schools? No? Okay, good. Yeah, the statue in Times Square. Isn't there some statue in Times Square? Like what? Now, I don't understand how they can act like Christmas. Lakeisha. Did they remove Teddy Roosevelt's statue though? And then you put a statue like that? Like this is so insane. Who does that? Who fucking does that? It seems like, if you owe a school loan, they will seize your bank account. But if you want to fund terrorists, you're good. It does some shit to literally be tracking every person in America's, and being like, America's, they're robbing the government, people on Medicare are robbing the government. In the meantime, these terrorist groups are being fucking uh, supported, I mean, repeatedly. And here's Israel fighting these terrorists alone. Being accused of genocide. Could you ever imagine? I don't think that these terrorist groups are going to be like, buddies with America, though. You know what I'm saying? What is the Assad? Yeah, and was even Aunt Jemima like a real person? I mean, but they could have like some random, black person statue and be like, oh, hold up a minute, that's okay, but Aunt Jemima, she's on syrup. She's not okay. Jesus Christ, I mean, fucking, that tie on her head, fucking Janelle wears a tie like that on her head. Fucking Amy wore a tie like that on her head. Like, could you imagine if a white basketball player had, uh, yeah, Rosie the Riveter? We didn't complain about Rosie the Riveter, you know? It's just insane to me that Says Syria. Iran has been the Assad's regime most reliable partner over nearly a decade of involvement in the Syrian conflict, propped up by the Syrian regime and extending Assad almost 5 billion in lines of credit and more than 10 billion in funding since 2012. Tehran has deployed thousands of soldiers on the ground, including both their conventional army, Artesh, and the Islamic regime ground forces, while managing militia groups of as many as 10,000 Iraqi, Afghan, and Pakistani Shia fighters in Syria. Iran's support for the Assad regime has been constant, even in the face of the regime's egregious use of chemical weapons and attacks, killing civilians and destroying civilian infrastructure. What the fuck? And they're still acting like these people are just like in shock. Who is Saudi Arabia supporting during this? This is just disgusting. How the fuck is the world gonna just sit by and watch Israel be destroyed by terrorists? How the fuck? 2 weeks? What the fuck are you fucking waiting for? 2 weeks? The fuck? Look at this shit, man. They'd be fucking attacking the US fucking over. What do you mean it isn't being destroyed? Do you think that they're putting out false reports? Possibly. I mean, that's a possibility. How the fuck does Islamic terroristic groups have armies like this? I mean, obviously, this whole report, it's on the government website. It's this whole report. Yeah, but the whole world is just sitting there, and that fucking Iron Dome is failing, and that has something to do with that motherfucker, Elon. What the? I can't even imagine that they're literally, you know, members of Iran's numerous ethnic minority groups are also targeted by the regime routinely. Unbelievable, man. What's the difference between Shia and Sufi? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I did see that. the bottom line is, why wouldn't all the other countries want to be like, okay, let's get rid of this fucking evil entity now, that's providing so much support for all these other, terrorist groups, while Israel's got them, against the ropes. Let's fucking join in and get rid of them because they've caused so much problems throughout the years. What is he waiting for? What is in 2 weeks? I don't understand it. How is this guy golfing? And I'm not just blaming him about golfing. I'm saying even in like during World War II, you'd see these, rich people and in America and stuff and fucking just making their movies and having their doing their thing, and in the meantime people's babies are dying in their arms on a 5-day train ride where they don't get to sit because they're stuffed in there and they have to just shit and piss themselves because there's no bathroom breaks and there's no food. So, if you're not dead by starvation by the time that you get there, your baby probably is in your. No, no, they shouldn't. Why should Israel do it themselves? It seems like they're an offense to the world. Iran's been providing funding to terrorist groups that have caused problems for a lot of people. I don't understand. Like, shouldn't it be like, like that guy, what was his name? Oh my God, I can't even think of his name. It was a really good story. Oh my God, I can't even think of his name. I think Brian Keith might have played him in the movie. He was like a bully of the town, and the whole town was just sick and tired of him. It's a true story. And so he ends up, his truck gets surrounded and he gets shot. He gets killed. And nobody in the town would say who did it. They all just said, nope, we didn't see nothing. We didn't see nothing. They were just so sick of him, man. He was a tyrant. He was a fucking tyrant. So everybody fired shots and they all said, nope, we didn't see nothing. I mean, why should Israel? Israel is very small. I mean, we'll keep them safe by destroying the main contributor to, yeah, sleeper cells that will remain asleep once their financial backing is gone. Their financial backing needs to be gone. I mean, seriously, instead of, like Bitcoin and shit like that being created to hide money transfers and shit, it needs to be, you know, they need to be punished. I mean, what the. Yeah, but nobody will win in a nuclear war, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll all die. And Russia and China both know that. You know, what is the main religion in both Russia and China, in those countries? Like, And I find it hard to, like while reading this, like it's like uh it seems like, Britain and the US, um all of the Middle Eastern countries, surrounding Iran, they've all suffered something from, some kind of attack from these, from Iran, but not Russia and China. I mean, so they don't deploy any kind of life saving. I mean, but I do know that Russia, did play a huge role in fighting in World War II. Um, it's just so weird that we never see the Russian president, Putin, or the Chinese president there. We never see them like golfing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like we don't see them doing that on like their country's dime too, which I'm sure that they do things on their country's dime. It is, but he could pay for that himself. You know what I mean? Like, and we're having such unrest here too, with the whole immigrant and the flag. I mean, do you mean to tell me like what company just all of a sudden started, making Mexican flags and had like a huge, upswing in sales? You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden they could all just run to some store and start buying Mexican flags. I mean, I know that, like a lot of people think like, oh, Democrat, Republican, but I'm more like a people's president kind of person. And I feel like, when you want to stay in a country, in them saying, LA wouldn't be what it is now if it wasn't for us. Well, then there you have it. There you have it. Maybe you should go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you should go back then because LA wasn't looking too safe. It wasn't looking too great to me lately. Uh, once somebody in jail starts tattooing their face, take them out. They're not interested in like, oh hey, my future ambition. Now, here's the thing though. I don't know. Do they really offer like much teaching in jail? But, when you got a bunch of guys who are and then you got a bunch of women who are walking around, like, in thongs on the street, but then they're walking around in thongs on the beach, well, when does it when and a bunch of men with their fucking pants hanging so low, showing their dirty drawers, when does it become like, "Hey, we got kids out here?" But then you've got, Provincetown, here in Mass, where, the Pilgrims landed, but you couldn't take a little kid there to show them the Pilgrim Monument. That you couldn't do that. It's packed. The place is packed, very busy, but their schools aren't working. Their schools are not active. They don't. They contribute the least, actually, to Massachusetts. Run by commies. I don't even know if anywhere is run by commies anymore. Like, I don't even know anything like that. I just think that, first of all, I think if somebody wants to, um, being a job as stressful as the president, and you still want to be in the job for as long as you want to be in the job, then you should get to be. Not saying that you shouldn't have to run against the next person, in 4 years. I'm just saying that, you know, it usually takes some years before, something that you've been trying to make a change with actually gets, gets in the, started going, and then this next whole new cabinet comes in, whole new administration, and then they fight for something different, and then that changes, and then a whole new one comes in, and that changes. I mean, consistency in jobs would be great, when people go, oh, this company has been, run for, 50 years by the same, okay, well, that's consistency. So this change of things is, pretty fucked up. Like, I'm not saying somebody who doesn't want to be president anymore shouldn't be like, I'm not going to run again, but if they do want to, then they should, so that they can see things through. It doesn't encourage people to want to make any kind of a change if they can't see it through. If it's going to take this long to fight it and get the change through, and then your term's up and the next person's going to come in, it just doesn't encourage people to dedicate themselves to something. Yeah, fuck it, right? Just doesn't. The whole electoral college, that's some bullshit. Why the fuck do people volunteer their time for elections? Holding the signs out there and taking the time off work to go vote or whatever, so that your vote just doesn't really matter. I mean, that's stupid. Stop lying to people saying that your vote matters, because if you're going to come in with this electoral college when convenient, then just stop. Just wasting people's fucking time. Just wasting people's time. That's stupid. That's stupid shit right there. If you're gonna say, menthols are dangerous, and so they're discontinued in some states, but then the state over the border, they're not. What does that message say? That so doctors in Massachusetts say that menthol cigarettes are dangerous, but the doctors in Connecticut say, who gives a fuck? We don't care about in Connecticut. Or that they say, no, they're not. Fuck that shit. By the way, come here to Connecticut, buy your menthol cigarettes and sell them for more in Massachusetts. What does that even? I don't even. You know what I mean? Um, Fucking Barry Crump, the attorney for George Floyd and so many others, in the police brutality cases. Don't you have to be like, licensed or something in different states? I mean, so, but he could just take any fucking case he wants. So, But I'm not really understanding. So nobody was convicted criminally for the death of this, but civilly they're responsible so that someone could get some money. So what you're saying is, I'm not saying that people weren't convicted criminally, because prior to, the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd, you know, setting the precedent of a police officer being convicted of a crime, it had already been set. I get it. They want to take the credit. They want to call it the George Floyd Act. They want to, take the credit for, a cop being convicted, and it had already been done. It had already been done. Justine Diamond, look it up. It had already been done. But there was no marching in the streets for Justine Diamond. There was no marching in the streets for Tony Timpa. So why not just, you know, say it for what it is? Like that you don't care about police brutality. You just want to fucking loot, cause some fucking destruction. You didn't give a fuck about George Floyd. You didn't even know him. He was a criminal. But you didn't give a fuck about Tony Timpa. Didn't give a fuck about Justine Diamond. Didn't give a fuck about Tony Timpa. But they were white. That was their uh yeah, exactly. And no, nobody has even said shit about that. Look at that fucking Million Man March. Then they were gone. Then they were gone. Then they were gone. They're peaceful protests, not when they're yelling no justice, no peace. Yeah, but Candace Owens and other black people can get away with exposing that stuff. But if a white person says it, such as myself, who nobody has any audio of me saying the N word because I didn't say it, but still to this day, you've got the Muslim bitch over there. Oh, yeah, did I call you a Muslim bitch? Because I think you are, because I know that you support Hamas. Um, and you also rip off the country. And you're a bad parent, and you can go fuck yourself, Tiffany H. And you as well, Lou. Your father's a dirtbag piece of shit as well. Um, and we're talking about people who have contributed nothing to the country. I myself, I've worked since I was 15. I've paid taxes. I've contributed to the country, law abiding citizen, as is my daughter, as is the rest of my family. Um, right, yeah, I get that, creative soul. But what's annoying to me is that when I even shared the Kendall Reacts videos, I was accused of race baiting. If I speak out about the Jews, I'm a Jew and it's convenient. And you know, this, it's just like, people who stand by their convictions are, we're all fucking struggling. We're all in this together. I'm tired of hearing about white privilege. There was no white privilege going on. I'm, tired of seeing, somebody like Crystal say, in the obituary of her mother, talking about my mother. I don't care if you die, Crystal. I could care less. I hope you do soon. Oh, and everybody will go, she's wished people died. No, I didn't wish. I didn't waste a wish and hope, you dying. That would be a wasted wish. Plus, pretty much, they basically don't even come true anyway, because here you are, still breathing, you know? Um, and yet, bragging about how much money you've got. I'm inclined to think that you actually don't have that much money. Um, and Lou, you sit over there disrespecting every dead and living member of your family while you talk to the people who actually harass them. You're a loser. You're a low life. You're a twat. Um, you know, you were very proud of fucking your father. Yeah, he was the wizard. People call him the wizard. How many lives did you ruin, bitch? But you want to keep talking about me, King of Chaos. You actually leave comments over there, like as if this shit is like, you know. Could you be more specific with that, Creative Soul? Because I did see that movie, Wag the Dog or whatever. And it was about like, wasn't it like about a fake war or something? Did they say there was a fake war? It just seems like the majority of people who support evilness are, I mean, like, okay, no BS. She's talented. I believe all her art is real art. Now, because of this AI stuff or whatever it is, you got Munchie. I don't know, some cartoons, whatever that they're doing that it's like so somebody who would have, studied, art in detail and all that stuff can now just, speak into something and a picture comes up like and dumb pieces of shit like, godless, you know, godless dancer, whatever, sits there going, "Oh my god, my sides are hurting. This is so funny." No, it's not funny. No, they didn't make that. That's like AI shit. And people are like, "Yeah, because artificial intelligence is cool." No, I grew up in the generation where like real intelligence is cool. Right. Yeah, it's being accepted as being done wrong or backwards. Yeah. You know? It's like so all those people who put time and effort into things, just like it's just so crazy to me that artificial intelligence, that's stupid. Needs artificial intelligence. What is school for? It's to make you really intelligent. Yeah, and artificial intelligence gets like, you know, promoted where like somebody who's a real artist is they struggle, you know? The wave of the future, but the future just seems really, really bad. The future just seems really bad. but it will replace everything. Yeah, yeah, and you're right. It can be used for good or evil, which is like almost like even the Bible is being used for evil because they're like, oh, this is the prophecy, this is the end times. Israel has started the end times, where it's like, no, somebody wrote that down, and I mean, like, okay, look at Da Vinci. Da Vinci had all of these inventions that he didn't even have the materials to bring his inventions to fruition, to make them. But when finally the materials were available and they, made his inventions, they worked. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, who hasn't heard of people hacking into stuff? Or if electricity goes out, I mean, people have hacked into companies' computers and said, "We're not going to give you your client list." Well, yeah, but they used to write that down. I'll have to try to call her. I haven't seen it. You're right. In the meantime, while all of this is going on, you got people like, the rents being raised so high that, you know, uh, people can't live anymore. But when, they become homeless, people say, oh, they must be a drug addict or a mentally ill. Even though, we all know it's because the rents are so high that nobody can afford those anymore. Nobody can. I mean, and like I was saying about the compassionate release or something, like, is that a real thing? I mean, so are they saying they keep people in jail, in prison, till they're so old that they have dementia? And then because they don't want to give them the medical attention that people with dementia need, they drop them off at a bus stop and they got no family. Is that a real thing? I heard about it in, Orange is the New Black, or compassionate release. Is that a real thing? Somebody whose sentence is so fucking long. No, I'm saying it was in, Orange is the New Black. I'm saying nobody can look it up for me. I'll look it up. So yes, it is very creative. Yes, it is a real thing. What a shame. Just what a shame. Like, there's nowhere for somebody to go that's fucking, people. And then they'll, like, be transferring prisoners to, like, some other state far away from their family. Just every time when I be watching some of these things that are going on, I'm like, I forget the name of the show I was watching. It had, oh my God, what is the name of the guy? He was in Sideways. Um, I can't think of his name. He was in Duets. He's been in a lot of movies, the actor. And it was just like, all about people who are running things, like rich people and stock broke, like all that shit. Right. No, yes, absolutely. Yeah. They should take them to a nursing home, not a fucking, you just let them go and be like, okay, whatever. But here's the thing though, it's like, so while, here's Nitty fucking has another apartment, uses the Campbell building also, um, rips off, the Navy, just, purely fucked. And I mean, like, Lou's gonna sit there and her dumbass friends and herself, stick up and defend an actual killer while she lies and says Annette killed a cat, and they keep talking about Annette's son as if, he wears women's lingerie, and as if my mother's a whore. And somebody like King of Chaos who wants to think he's very smart, can't comprehend that intelligence doesn't go hand in hand with those kind of behaviors. If you were intelligent, you wouldn't want anything to do with people like that. And intelligent people know that. Like, but it's so frustrating because, like you said, no BS, the internet can be used for good and evil. And it's like, yeah, he understands exactly what he's doing. And it's like, uh, he's ill. Yeah, that's the bottom line. E-baggers, you're ill. You're ill. That's an illness. That is a fucking illness. Even like what Lou wrote on her community page is so pathetic that it doesn't even warrant, you know, her writing it. But you still got, oh, Survivor Girl, you're such a delight. How could anyone be so judgmental and mean the you? I'm so very sorry for all the mistreatment you've endured over the past 3 years since I've been around, anyway. You're one of the most sweetest and kindest person I know. You put in hours and hours of content just to uplift the ones who have been bullied in the community. People should be ashamed of themselves for mistreating you the way they have. Shame on them. Bullying a woman that's battling stage 11 cancer. Eh, I know God is in your favor. No, I would be in God's favor. And He miracled you already. Ugh. You speak so well of others, and I know you hit your knees praying for many of us, especially me. What is the point of this community post, though? Is it to prove that you're a fucking liar that can't spell? Is that weird, Nobias? It's like they can't handle people who talk about intelligent topics and real life things and honest people. Because there's good people in this live stream, this chat, and others, and they'd rather have support from shit. Especially me, I'm so grateful. Thank you for your kind words last night. That newspaper article was on point, and if you can't trust anything, you can trust the media. Thank you, Survivor Girl. Thank you. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Yeah, well, wish I could say the same, but I can't because I don't really care what happens to you. Though it's not that I wish you ill will. It's that you have acted really stupid. King of Chaos says we all know the news media is correct 100% of the time. Now, see, so e-beggars, this doesn't even make sense because everything that you post on your channel, you get from the news. In fact, I plan on donating a substantial amount to the New York Times and Washington Post in my last will and testament because Lord knows only they can get facts correct. Thank you for reminding me to do that. And then because he still thinks that, you could be stupid, Lou. He says, obviously, I'm being sarcastic. And she says, LOL, I already know. LOL. You're laughing out loud about that? Really? Are you? Good one. Carrie Mann says, she is so sweet, kind, and most of all, generous. God loves a giver. Of course, Crazy Court has to, put some laughing emojis. Um, what is the point of this, though? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So weird.
right to say something. Now, this is Nutnut's description on her channel. Are you ready? Oh, John is like really rolling his eyes. Okay.
Listen, your John is rolling his eyes because, you know, you're a lame hooker. And why Annette's description of her channel is a problem for you, I really just don't even know.
Ready? Now she uses my punctuation trademark.
Oh, so nobody else can use punctuation, by the way. I didn't know that she had trademarked punctuation. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that she trademarked punctuation? I wasn't aware, but
Begin with. Just a little bit of everything. Now she changed that. Before it was, this is a no drama channel. All right, I'm just going to read. Just a little bit of everything. Disclaimers, fair use practices for entertainment, educational, and commentary purposes only. Everything, you ready? Everything discussed or displayed.
does this affect you in some way, Crystal, other than, you know, your insanity?
On this channel is based on opinions. You ready? Here's the big one. And facts researched throughout other reliable sources in books and internet news sources, etc. Did I read that again? Everything discussed or displayed on this channel is based on
You don't have to read it again. We understand.
opinions and facts researched throughout other reliable.
In the meantime, HC says, right, she likes attention, and if she's going to get it, she's going to get it her way. Blue says, her doctor told her to go right away. Why? I've never heard that. I've seen the paramedic come up to a doctor's office over a heart attack, or the doctor send them to the hospital to be admitted. And then Dora the Hora, I need new tires. I've been all over Massachusetts, like McDonald's, 1 billion served. See, I don't give a fuck if you die, Crystal. I don't care.
Sources in books and internet news. It's reliable source. Well, my reliable source says you are a total nut and you need help. Here's a reliable source for you.
Here's a reliable source for you. You're harassing a woman who's been dead for 20 years. Is there a reason for that?
And when you're telling people that, hold on, let me read what you just said. Oh, she's making that up. No, she's making it up. No, absolutely not. Now, if anybody does have a problem, you know, she not did get rid of her landline phone. Just so you know.
Not did get rid of her landline phone. How much of a stalker are you?
Now, I don't know what that means. Carrie Ann no longer has her phone number. Jeff posted was public information for the 50,000th time. Public information. Do you know what that means? Not. Public information is, okay, basically we pay taxes, okay? We
Shut up.
pay taxes for police.
Not to harass people. You don't pay taxes to lie about people and harass people.
Officers, for public officials.
Yeah, and we do too. So we need to get justice because you're breaking the law, cocksucker.
For that. So we are.
So she privated it right then and there. You see a pride before a fall incoming? What does that mean?
Okay. She never made up anything about you. I'm sorry, Lou's getting off, but I just want to, Lou, even if you go, I want to make that point. Why are you so obsessed with Lou? What is the obsession?
Nobody's obsessed with Lou. Nobody. Absolutely, because I am pissed. I've always wanted teeth like a grouper, so I could, gnaw on rocks at the bottom of the ocean to remove the algae. But unfortunately, I don't have teeth like a grouper, so I've got to be jealous of Lou. Unless I wanted a parent who was a murderer, so, you know.
Are you jealous? I mean, I don't understand that she has a good marriage and a husband that loves her.
Oh, yes. So much so.
Are you jealous that she's creative? I don't
Creative. Alrighty.
understand. So, all I want to say is I find it ungodly to every time you stalk someone to post something from the Bible. And do you?
So she didn't talk about Lou. She posted something from the Bible, and you were turning it into that. I don't give a fuck what happens to Crystal. I hope it's torture.
Now, I can't think of them right now, but that there are many, many people that have been connected and that run churches, and there are many people that say they're holy, okay, and
Couldn't think of the name though.
they work for God, but they have been very abusive and they have been found guilty of horrible, horrible things.
And that's that she works for the church.
That's right, Jamie. Right, and Jamie has a Rusted Metal has a lovely family. And another thing, to say that Munchie's ex should have finished the job. Now, you said it the other day, right after SG had said it before, that she shouldn't be here anymore.
I still feel that way.
The things that you say.
Is that a problem? Yeah, cheeseburgers and Crocs. Straight to hell. Straight to hell. Cheeseburgers and Crocs. I wonder if the person who invented cheeseburgers and Crocs is in hell. Wow.
Lou is still here. I just asked her why she brought SG, and then she told me, oh, well, that was the treehouse. Well, you know what, Lou? I know you need to run, but you know what a liar is, right? She didn't bring SG. She is such a deviant.
This lady's
She
pretending
hates
to be a
because
psychic.
SV hates her, not rides the hate train. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt, HD. And I am, it's an insult. I find it an insult to God to keep doing it's been that way. No, it's been that way for over a year, Lou.
Shut up. I hope you choked on a rigatoni.
She's obsessed with you, Carrie Ann. Obsessed, like really obsessed.
No.
Never. Oh, okay, get some sleep, Lou. But thanks for hopping back on. I didn't think I was gonna go back on, but I was like, can you believe what she just
Doe, her invisible friend.
posted? I have no doubt, in my opinion, that she abused her husband, and we see this. I mean, did you not
See? You're going to hell, Crystal. Or
see Justin Trudeau? I mean, I don't know what that slap was about. Did I just say, oh, God. The French, not the Canadian, excuse me. I misspoke. I just cannot believe that you have to stalk Lou and Carrie Ann the way you do. And
wait a minute. What does Justin Trudeau have to do with any of that?
Have to spread such hatred. And I did a very nice thing. You said you were in love with Bo Buchanan for one life to live as a girl, as a teenager. I went to his house.
Bitch is stalking Bo Buchanan now. Holy fuck. Not the cops never said, oh, can't talk about you. The cops told you not to speak her or mention her name. No different than SG harping on the same thing constantly. She giggles about it. She's evil. She does like to talk on her lies because you're blocked and you're blocked. Everyone on the CW is blocked. People obsessing over Lou is burning my ass too. It's probably diarrhea. Um, these are fucking weirdos.
I got you his autograph, and I also took a full video of his house and his farm for you.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I ain't seen no fucking video of you at Bo Buchanan's. Is that guy even still alive? The actor who played Bo Buchanan? Is he even still alive? I mean, like, what is this whore even talking about? Oh my god.
Do you remember that?
No?
I mean, it's still up. Look up the address.
Look up the address of Bo Buchanan? What's wrong with this lady?
Oh, the giggle. The giggle. You know what? You sound like such a deviant when you do the giggle. And I know you said that Mitchell used to giggle after he would do the same thing.
Mitchell, which is her father's name, would giggle after he would do the same thing? Crystal, I don't give a fuck what happens to you. You fucking dirty bitch. You are a dirty, dirty bitch. You are a dirty bitch.
She gave him a black eye. He was eating a Twinkie. Well, he deserved it then, honestly. I didn't mean to say, I meant the French. I don't know why I was. Well, they speak French in Canada. Much as she does to everyone now, she's obsessing over Lou. Let me tell you
Nobody's obsessing over Lou except you and Lou and douchebags.
something. She is so jealous of Lou. It's so clear. She has been stalking and obsessing about Lou for, I know it's been over a year. Because not a
Crystal, shut up.
brother, I do listen to your lives. As in
Don't.
LIES. Oh, I'm sorry, Trumps.
Your food
She
stuff.
starts and then she says she's being harassed. Not once have I mentioned her family. Kim, you know what? I want to say something about that. And I'm
Then Lou has the nerve to write, mentions my son, my dad, oh, and yet lies about us talking about their deceased relatives. What the fuck? I don't know anything about them. Don't give a fuck. Your friend just mentioned Annette's dead father. What's wrong with you, you whore?
sorry if I sound a little hostile right now. But I'm really like, where do you get off not talking about Lou's father?
Fuck Lou's
Yeah,
father.
that's her father
Fuck
you're
that.
talking about.
Fuck that murderer.
That's her flesh and blood. That's
Who gives a fuck? Who cares? You fucking twat.
her father. The things you say are very, very hurtful.
So was that fucking gunshot to the stomach for that woman.
Would you want someone saying that about your mother?
She's such a twat, this woman.
Because she made some mistakes. She made some big mistakes.
What?
You know, if you're so obsessed with Lou, why don't you dye your hair like Lou's? Put a little makeup on. We know you don't.
Why don't you show yourself, Crystal? Because you know, one of these days, somebody's going to find out who you are. You'll be fucked.
Need it. But put a little makeup on. And, you know, be happy. Play some music.
She is obsessed with her.
Redecorate your house.
You are so right. Crystal Love is obsessed with Annette. She is obsessed with her. Crystal Love is obsessed with her. Oh, sorry. But you're right. You're absolutely right. She is obsessed with her.
in, that doesn't have to cost any money. You can just change things around. But my gosh, this obsession, and it's just really creepy. You never stop.
You don't.
And Carrie Ann, you mention every single day.
No, she doesn't.
And when you're called out, okay?
Called out.
And then you're obsessed with people that don't show their faces. Well, stranger danger. Remember that?
Yeah, you're a stranger, so you're dangerous. Freak. Stalker. Bitch.
And we learned that as young kids. And another thing. Exactly, HD. Wait, her mom Alice took off and left her family.
Wow, HD, are you really talking about Annette's deceased mother? Wow. Wow. There's something wrong with you, HD.
No warning. Yeah, and that, that's no class, no manners, no. But she claims she has integrity. Well, if you had integrity, you wouldn't be lying every chance. You wouldn't be stalking and obsessing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is another thing. Carrie, I just pointed out. How do you dox a dead person? Anybody?
Jesus Christ.
Anybody? How do you dox a dead?
Well, how about you die and then we'll figure it out? You die and we'll figure it out. Go ahead. Just experiment.
Person. How do you harass a dead person? Someone please tell me. I make it make sense. Harass their memory. Rob. Fuck you and your dead fucking relatives. Oh yeah, your son's eyes. Dirty whores. This is coming from someone that I don't know if she's hallucinating. Your son's eyes.
I thought you were going away. You said you were going to Greece or something.
Trump's. There's an obsession. They both want to be. I think that. Oh, Carrie Ann has a good sense of humor. She's also intelligent. She's beautiful.
Never seen a prettier C.
I know that's a sin as far as not is concerned, how she interprets the Bible. But I'm just saying, leave them alone. And if you don't want to listen to my chats, don't listen to my chats. Why
How about you don't listen to her chats?
do you listen to them and then say you don't? Trump, that's funny. Would you ever take any? This is another thing. I told her before, and I'm going to read this to you, okay? And then I'm going to let you guys go. But just stop with the obsession over Lou and Carrie Ann, okay? They're my friends, and I'm saying leave.
Exactly right, Nobius.
Little toy in the background. Be polite. Munchie nailed it when she said that I'm not even going to repeat it. I know you are.
Yeah, because Munchie didn't nail anything except I don't know. I would say she should nail her lips shut.
Already know what she said, but she nailed it.
We don't know what she said. Why don't you tell us?
People work for their things. And, I have never shamed anybody for being wealthy or being poor or being just middle of the road I have never shamed anybody. In fact, why don't you just stop going to the movies if you don't want to support people that are doing well? Because
Why don't you just shut the fuck up? Why don't you eat something that you choke on?
that's putting money in their pocket. It's putting money in the production's pocket. It's putting money in the actors. It's putting money, stop supporting McDonald's.
Why don't you stop supporting McDonald's by being a clown?
By going there and spending your money, you're making them wealthier. I mean,
stop supporting Chick-fil-A, you fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up, stupid loser bitch.
Should someone not get a paycheck for what they're doing?
Fuck off.
if someone has a nice car, does that make them evil? So it says, and I don't know if you're suffering from depression or what you're suffering for, and I hope it's not depression.
I think you suffer from depression. No way in heck. Yes, yeah, stop having fucking cooking shows, bitch.
But you seem very down by, I was saying, terrible times, and these are the last days, and World War III, and
tell that to all of social media.
Who loves themselves more than they love God?
What?
I agree. If people love themselves more than God, that's a problem. But God loves them regardless.
Shut up, loser.
And I don't lay with my money. So I'm not lovers with my money.
You don't lay with your money? Please. In the meantime, Munchie goes, I'm going to post a link on my community page so everyone can file a welfare fraud report. Can you believe that shit? Can you fucking believe that? Unreal.
And I share my my happiness.
Shut up, twat.
With others.
No, you don't. Nobody's happy with your shit. You're a fucking idiot. Shut up.
And abusive disobedience to their parents. Well, I can
She has abusive disobedience to her parents.
see where that would apply to. Who isn't lovers of good?
You're not a lover of good. You're a lover of mud.
You really do have a problem with, you post beauty isn't about having a pretty face. Well, it is about having a pretty mind and a pretty heart. And most importantly,
Such a loser.
pretty soul. Where is that in the Bible? I've never seen that in the Bible. I've read the Bible.
Liar.
But I've never seen that in the Bible. And don't we all kind of know that as adults? I mean, do you really think you need to state that? You seem to have a real problem with beauty.
Didn't seem like she had a problem with beauty. She was just saying beauty is skin. Shut up, Crystal. Fucking stupid bitch. You're ugly.
Now, you have said on many occasions you would like to look just like Dolly Parton. No?
Now the bitch is mad at Dolly Parton. Fucking wacko. Just crazy.
Random kid. Going on for sure. Or my thing is, because back when I was in active addiction, kind of like the kiddie pool thing, I would buy or spend my money on stupid shit.
All right, Pensataki. We know. You would buy stupid shit but not pay child support. We know.
Where are you getting this from? Fucking whack job. Where's all night likes, views, clicks, shares, and all that motherfucking shit, Earlier today I seen it on her stuff. And it's fucking disgusting to always blame other people for your own fucking faults. Wake up, you guys, and realize your own wrongs. Then
okay. Then we'll all go to you.
Then goes for other people. It's almost like she wants content. She wants people to fight amongst themselves so she can make her point. But whatever it is that you think, Esty, that I did to Sharon, and it's all my fault, and Lou's fault, and Miles' fault, I wasn't even here when everything fucked this way. I wasn't here.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, TH. Psycho. Fucking psycho.
And like behavior, it's quiet. I think I've seen it.
Fucking weirdos.
Oh, Tomcat. Poor kid.
I wonder what happened to Tomcat. Remember him? He disappeared, huh? Tomcat? Crazy fuckers. So many of them are crazy.
Hi, CX.
They all seem nuts. I haven't seen CVX lately, actually.
Skate shorts? He's doing well. I had to go watch. Oh, they were? They were fun? Hey, Luna. What's up, girl?
I haven't seen Cindy lately either. I don't know if she's been live lately. But who knows?
3 times to stop talking about it.
There's some old stuff there.
I'd like to know who this bitch is all big and bad talking to. Behind the scenes, behind the screen. Like, wow, really? You better cut. I'm sorry. I gotta do commentary on this because it's so pathetic. These bitches think they're gonna go around harassing somebody with cancer. Instead of doing dates, you might have wanted to do some history. And like, I'm sitting there trying to be in a Bible study, trying to learn about God. So you know what that tells me? You're trying to be in a Bible study, trying to learn about God. Oh, by the way, I recognize Currently's writing on that fucking thing. Too, Scout. Me too. Like I said, you saw me in addiction. You know how fucked up and bad I was. Like, that's why when people try to say, she's not clean, like, okay. Like, the only people that can judge me on that is people who knew me in addiction. You wouldn't even know how I acted if I was high. Okay, so whatever. So you're not high and you're just a bitch calling people pedos? That's very true, Christy. Good point.
Oh, and by the way, Christine F or whatever, Coco's mom, I wasn't talking about you. I said you were doing a good job, not making people be your friends. I don't know, not be fucking ridiculous and pathetic, but apparently that means I'm talking about you. Anyway, hopefully people have learned about fucking Iran and what pieces of shit they are, in my opinion. Um, I mean, I really don't know. Seems like a lot of people really don't even really, you know. It just doesn't make sense that all of a sudden Iran is allowed to have nuclear. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me. Oh, so what are they calling themselves? The Islamic Republic now? I mean, well, then the lack of support fighting a war against Islamic terrorists um, just goes to show that all those poor young kids who lost their lives and the people who lost their lives on 9/11 was all for nothing. It was all for nothing. It was all for nothing. Now, Israel is the criminal, and nobody wants to back them. What was that war for? What was that war for? The only thing I can say is that if everything in the holy city gets destroyed and then everybody sits idly by like they did, and they did, um, and they did sit idly by while Jews were being gassed and then everything. I mean that started in 33, not when history is telling people it started in 33. Um, and in the meantime, everyone sits idly by while actual people are bombing hospitals where there's innocent people, not, where terrorists are hiding underneath. I hope the fucking earth blows up so that everyone who sat idly by and said this is how the world is going to end gets what they hoped for. Wouldn't want to disappoint everybody. So while you sit idly by and watch Israel be destroyed by a country that has launched attacks on every country, that is disgusting. And Muslim is Islam. And they hate everyone. I just hope that it's over for all of us at the same time. Because I don't want to live in a world without Israel. So, united we stand, divided we fall. And I don't know what the fuck 2 weeks is waiting for. What are you waiting for? There's a whole report here showing all that they're discussing the atrocities, but whoever's got the most money, I think, wins. United we stand, divided we fall. Lou, you cunt. There's no stage 11 cancer unless you're planning on getting it. And letting us all know that it does exist. Crystal, go eat some macaroni and choke on it, you motherfucking twat. And Munchie, yes, I still believe that your your ex fucking failed totally. Um, and any one of you guys' parents who created you and didn't teach you right to be decent human beings and to sit idly by while knowing that Israel is not a terrorist country. Don't include them in the Middle East and those fucking assholes. And the ones who are screaming and screaming and screaming, free Palestine, free them from what? Free yourselves, motherfuckers. Stop attacking Israel. Don't come over here and oh, yo, kudos to that flag company that, 14 years ago, it was $16,000 to raise 2 flags, but now it's $100,000 of our money. Flags? Are you fucking kidding us right now, buddy? Get off that fucking golf course. Don't just wait and see who's winning the war in 2 weeks. Fucking sick, man. Give back that plane. Take that plane away from him. What the fuck is wrong with people? Since when are presidents supposed to take fucking shit like that? Unreal. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Whatever. And here's to your stage 11 cancer.